Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. So, today we have a battle against Shaun, another random person offline. So yeah, looking at his team, it looks to be very powerful, pretty well balanced too, so very meta. Yeah, looking at my team, it is yet another team remix here. We still have the Starmie and the Ninjask, and then another different handful of Pokemon that I've used here before on BDSP, just ones that I like that I want to get some more use out of. So we're going to go ahead and make the note of the opponent's team, of course. And then we need to decide what we want to lead with here. So, what do we want to lead with here? I think we're actually going to go with the Ninjask in this one. And we'll see how that works out. Alright. So, he is going to lead with the Gengar, which is actually not too bad with the Ninjask lead. So, I think right off the cuff here, we're just going to go ahead and go for a U-turn, get some chip, pivot, see what he wants to do. We do outspeed, of course. We're just going to go ahead and get that little bit of chip on the Gengar. Cursed Body actually going to activate to disable the U-turn. Not really going to matter, obviously, since we are switching out anyway. And so now, what do we want to bring in on this thing is the question. We don't have a ton of great switches to the Gengar, quite honestly, but I think the best one we have is probably going to be the Roserade. So we're going to go ahead and switch in with that. And so yeah, he's going to go ahead and go for a mean look, so that's interesting, going to prevent us from switching out with the Roserade. So that is kind of interesting. Could he be going for a Destiny Bond? Not entirely sure. But you know what? I think we're actually just going to go ahead and try to set up a layer of Toxic Spikes on him here, since he might want to do that. He's actually going to go for the switch, and he is going to come in with the Charizard. So that thing is going to come in as we are going to go for the Toxic Spikes here. Get one layer of those set up. Not going to be super useful this game, probably. But just kind of is what it is. So, yeah, can we switch out now is the question. I don't know. I don't know if we can. Guess we can try to find out. What would we switch into Charizard if we could switch out? Probably the Rotom, I would say. So yeah, it looks like we can, since the Gengar is gone. So we're going to go ahead and switch to the Rotom. Heat. And he is going to go Flamethrower, so that's not going to do, actually is going to do a little bit of damage to us there, about a third, as this thing is Life Orb, so it's going to take some Life Orb recoil there. So, unfortunately, he does have a lot of good switches to Rotom, unfortunately, so I think he's probably not going to want to stay in on this matchup. Does have some decent options to switch in, including the ground immunity, and we are choice specs, so we have to lock into something. So you know what, I think we're just going to actually attempt to fire off an Overheat here, see what he wants to do, and of course he is not going to want to stay in on this matchup, and he is going to go into the Gengar, which is going to soak up the Toxic Spikes, unfortunately, but we do actually get to go for the Overheat, choice specs Overheat that is, and that is just going to go ahead and destroy that Gengar outright. We do take the harsh special attack drop, but obviously more than worth it to get rid of that thing and knock him down to 5. So that is, all in all, not bad for us. So we'll see what he wants to bring in response, and it is going to be the Tyranitar. So that thing is going to come in and get the Sandstream, of course, to create the Sandstorm. And unfortunately, we don't really have much to deal with Tyranitar on this team right now. I think the best thing we could probably do is, I want to say, I don't know. probably, I guess, probably switch to the Roserade is probably the best thing we could do. We can't, I mean, we could probably take an attack, though not very well, so that's really all we can do since we're choice specs locked into Overheat. Obviously can't stay in here, so yeah, that's pretty much the best we got right now, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So, there it is. And he is going to go for the crunch. So that's not great. That is going to knock us down by about 3/4. Unfortunately, we are going to take some sand damage as well, and then we are going to get that HP back with the black sludge. But yeah, we're definitely not going to be able to take another attack here. So I'm not sure who out. I think depending on speed investment, I'm not sure who's going to outspeed who here. I think if he's speed invested, he will outspeed us. But yeah, I think we're just going to try, we're going to have to try and get some damage on this thing, I think, so we're just going to go ahead and go for a Giga Drain, see what happens, and we do actually outspeed, which is nice, so we do get a Giga Drain on this thing, and that does a lot of damage, actually. That takes it down by about 2/3, which is really nice. We get a bunch of HP back, as this thing's going to go for a Fire Fang now, and unfortunately we cannot take one of those from that range. So that's going to get rid of the Roserade and knock us down to 5. So that is unfortunate, but it kind of is what it is. So now we have to bring something in on this thing, and I think right now the best thing we can do is go for the Starmie. So that is what we're going to do, and we know we should be outspeeding this thing for sure, and I think the best thing we can do here is just go ahead and click Scald. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We are max special attack with a Life Orb, so he stays in, we go for the Scald, and that will be more than enough to finish the Tyranitar from that range and knock him down to 4. So that is pretty good for us, as now we do take that Life Orb recoil damage, and of course the sand damage as well, but he has a Sand Setter out of the way, which is nice. So yeah, there's that. So we will see what he wants to bring in response. So he is definitely thinking about it, and it is going to be the Garchomp. So that's not great. So I believe, you know, I'm not 100% sure about this matchup here, because if the Garchomp is max speed, it will I believe it would outspeed us, because we're max speed, but we're not a speed nature. So I think if he's a speed nature, I think he might outspeed us, but also if he's Scarf, he might outspeed us. So this is going to kind of be a little bit of a deadly game to play here with the Garchomp. I don't know if I want to lose Starmie, but at the same time, you know, I think the best thing we can do here is probably... You know what? I think the best thing, only seconds left, we got to make a choice. So I think the best thing is we're going to switch to the Rotom, anticipating a ground move here, and see what he wants to do. He may very well be Scarf Garchomp, but we'll see. So he is going to go Stone Edge, so he may have predicted the switch there, but that is actually going to just go ahead and destroy our Rotom there, unfortunately, knocking us to 4. So that definitely didn't work out for us. So yeah, now we have to decide what we want to bring in on this thing. I think the best thing we can do here is probably test the waters with the Aggron. So we're going to go ahead and switch the Aggron in. Now if he is in fact a choice, if he is choice locked, he's definitely going to want to switch out here. Even if he's not choice locked, I believe he would probably stay in if he's not choice locked, but I guess we don't know for sure. But yeah, I think the best course of action at this point is to actually just go for the, probably, if he does switch out, I think everything he has left actually resists Iron Head, which is unfortunate. So it's really going to be a matter of whether we think he's choice or not. So do we think he's choice or not? That is the question. I think, you know what, I do think he's choice. So But you know what? I think we want to play it safe anyway, so I think we're going to go for the Iron Head. And he does stay in, actually, so he's not choice. He goes for the Earthquake. That is going to knock us all the way down to our Sturdy, but we do survive because of it, of course. And then we go for the Iron Head in return, which does do a decent amount of damage, actually, to this thing, a little less than half. But then we do get some HP back from the leftovers, which is not really going to matter. So yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and we're not obviously not going to survive another attack from this thing, but we're just going to go ahead and try to throw a Stealth Rock out as he just goes for the crunch in case we decide to switch. And from that range, that will definitely finish off the Aggron and knock us down to 3. So not a great position to be in right now, unfortunately. I think the only thing we can do now, honestly, is unfortunately 2 Pokemon later. I think is probably go into the Starmie. I think that might be all we can do right now. Maybe. You know what? Actually, no. I don't think that's all we can do, because I believe he is going to outspeed us if he's Speed Nature. So you know what? I think Ninjask is going to be the play. So we're going to have to take a chance either way, but I think the chance we want to take here is on Ninjask. So we're going to come in with Ninjask, and the chance we have, because we know this thing's probably going to be Rough Skin, I think the chance we are going to make here is we're going to go for a Swords Dance. And the reason for this is, he's actually going to go for the switch. So the plan was to get a Swords Dance off on this thing, and so we wouldn't go down to the Rough Skin, but he switches the Charizard in, which actually ends up working out really well for us, because we get a Swords Dance to get that +2 in attack, then we get a speed boost to increase our speed, so that actually works out really well for us. So now we're sitting at +2. I think there's no reason not to just go for an Aerial Ace here and see how much damage we can get. We know we're going to outspeed the Charizard, so we hit the Aerial Ace, and it is not quite enough to finish the Charizard off, unfortunately. He goes for the Air Slash. That is going to knock us all the way down to our Focus Sash, but we do survive because of it. The Charizard is going to take some Life Orb recoil, and then we do get another speed boost, so that's not too bad. So yeah, I think now we have a decision to make here, but I think it's pretty obvious what decision we need to make, and that is we're going to go ahead and click Night Slash just in case he decides to switch, and he does decide to switch. What's he going to go into here? It is going to be the Gyarados, actually, so that's interesting. So going to come in with the Gyarados, get the Intimidate to cut our attack here, as we are going to go for a Night Slash here, and that is going to take that thing down by about a little less than half, I would say. So we do get another speed boost. This is an interesting situation because we're sitting at +1 attack. I think the best thing we can do here is actually go for another Aerial Ace, and so that is exactly what we're going to do. And we're going to go the Aerial Ace, and it is not quite enough. It survives. The Gyarados survives on like 1 HP, which is really unfortunate. Goes for the crunch and finishes the Ninjask off, and that knocks us down to 2. So Ninjask almost had its shining moment there, but unfortunately not quite. So I think we're going to go ahead now and come in with the Starmie. We know we should definitely be outspeeding this thing, even if it is max speed. So I think the best thing we can do here is just fire off a Scald. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We know it'll definitely take the Gyarados out if he decides to stay in. So yeah, that's what we're going to do and see where that gets us. So he is definitely thinking about this, and he does stay in, so we do go Scald, and obviously that will finish the Gyarados off from that range, and that is going to knock him down to 3. So we do take some more Life Orb recoil damage there as well. So we are still a little behind the 8-ball here, but we'll see what he wants to bring in response. So he is thinking about this one once again. So he does have a couple of viable options here depending on what sets he's going to be running. And unfortunately for us, we are definitely running out of options at this point. So these next couple turns will definitely be pretty critical. So, what is he gonna do? What is it gonna be? That is the question. So it is going to be the Metagross, which is unfortunate, because this thing is definitely a problem. Unfortunately, we really can't afford to switch at this stage in the game, so I think the only thing we can do here is go ahead and fire off a Scald at this thing. So that is what we're going to do. We should be outspeeding, indeed we do. So max special attack, Life Orb, Scald is not going to do enough to this thing, unfortunately, but we do get the burn, which is really great for us. This thing is going to go for a Meteor Mash in return, and we are able to survive that easily thanks to the burn, which then he is going to take some more damage from that burn. So that is pretty incredible for us. That's going to let us fire off another Scald here. And the second Scald will take care of the Metagross, dropping him down to 2, so that is pretty awesome for us. Starmie getting us back in the game there, and we do take the Life Orb recoil damage there once again. So, yeah, that is awesome. So now he's going to come in with the Garchomp, so we're kind of back to the same situation that we were in many a turn ago here. So this time we don't have the luxury of switching out, so we're just going to have to stay in here, go for the Ice Beam, and hope we're faster than it. And we are faster than the Garchomp, so we're going to nail it with an Ice Beam. And that is going to go ahead and finish that thing off, dropping him down to 1 Pokemon, which is incredible, as we do take more Life Orb recoil damage. So Starmie absolutely putting in the work here. And then the last Pokemon is going to be the Charizard, so he's going to come in with that. We're just going to go ahead and click Psychic here, no reason not to, and he's just going to go ahead and forfeit there. Not going to give us the satisfaction of knocking out the Charizard. So, yeah, we are going to win that one 2-1 technically over Shaun, but that was actually a really good match there. I think the end of it was pretty much a foregone conclusion, because we could definitely, I'm like 99% sure we're going to be outspeeding the Charizard, unless, although I think if he was max speed with a speed nature, I think there's a chance he might have outsped us, but I'm not sure about that. But then he actually would have just gone down to the Life Orb recoil damage, because we know he had Life Orb, so, and we still had Kecleon in the back, so we would have got the win either way. Just not sure what the number would have been at the end, so we'll count it as a 2-1 victory there. But that was a really intense game, really close, really competitive. Definitely had a little bit of luck on our side at the end that helped us get over the finish line there, but all around good one nonetheless. So that's it. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.